Okay, back we go to Security HQ. You'll find that despite me no longer being in the body of a cop, I don't have any problems getting in. I find that a bit of a shame, and it's part of a larger problem where despite all of the possessable people in Omikron having their own professions and tiny bits of backstory, it almost never has any effect on gameplay. I would have liked it if Betsy here would have had to sneak into the cop shop, or hell, used her journalism credentials to bluff her way past security. A couple of spots are off limits to us now, but still, a civilian shouldn't really be allowed to wander around here, should they? Anyway, if you remember from Den's childish scribbles, we're headed for the ventilation room. Yeah, you don't care that I'm here, do you? Okay, let's find a door that opens. We need to get into that central room. Everything in here looks so bulky and undetailed, as if it's all just placeholder graphics. I mean, you'll figure out what you have to do just by trying stuff, but it looks like garbage. Anyway, after using Den's security card on the black box, the huge transparent beams retract, allowing you to touch the green spout that stopped the central ventilator. Then you fondle the other black box to raise the window so you can dive out into the water. What the hell is this room for anyway? It's not like the police station runs heavy industry. You have to swim around until you find a tunnel. The swimming controls aren't great, especially with the camera diving in and out of your ass crack, but at this point that's pretty much to be expected. The whole purpose is to find this electric cable. The tunnel leads us back to the starting point. It would be nice if the game at least gave you some impression why your character is doing this stuff. Just jamming a cable into the panel for no reason. Phew, worked up a sweat. So, for some reason that stops one fan and opens the door leading into the central room. Den's not exactly Amerigo Vespucci, but you can tell from the entrance of the fan room you're supposed to head right. I'm not sure if running before you jump adds any distance to it, but it's never necessary. Your standard jump gets you far enough. I don't know what this solar beam coming out of the center of the fan is all about, but it doesn't damage you if you touch it. Whoop! Traverse some nasty-ass sewer corridors. Oh, that's an office. I don't think it's actually one of the offices you can visit, though. This is an entirely different map. A save point. I mentioned that I'm not a fan of the save system, but at least a lot of the save points are put in logical places. Uh-oh, there's a pit, leading to a dead end. Hey, I totally cleared that jump. Hey, we're in Gandar's office. Save your soul. Oh, it's the demon from the start of the game. Like I said at the start, I'm playing the good old games version of Omikron, but I'm positive that on the original CD-ROM version, the game would warn you with a message at the bottom of the screen here that if you died, there would be no one to come in and stop the demon, and it'd be game over. Oddly, it's not in this version. Okay, well, here's a chance to see the game over screen. So, from here on, the gloves are coming off. I might want to get a slight health advantage over Monsieur Demon.
Save your soul.
Save your soul. I wish there were more tracks with weird vocals in the game. It's pretty unusual.
Save your soul.
I always think the textures on the demons look like they haven't been placed right, but I've seen some concept art for the game that shows the demon designs just didn't translate well to the low polygon models. Metagaming wasn't much of a thing back in 1999, but since the idea is that the video game is a trap for players' souls, I think it could have been cool if the demons in this game actually looked like glitched out character models with deformed limbs and textures turned inside out, to hammer home that they don't belong here. That probably would have gotten people calling tech support back then, but hey, at least people would be talking about your game. What's wrong? You want to have a seat? Alright. We get a dodge potion out of it, which I guess lets you block more hits for a bit, a life potion, which worked just like a medikit, and 5 more magic rings. Nice. Let's see here. No way to open a closet as far as I know. A pass to enter the district Jaunpur is in the desk drawer, and there's a switch underneath it, which you can only use if you pick up the pass. Looks like we'll have to use this Silent Hill panel. Here's where Anissa's paper comes in, which, according to the lady on the roof, Gandar just fucking dropped while committing a murder? Oops, Butterfingers! Anyway. The 4th of the 2nd, the 3rd of the 5th, the last of the 1st, and the 2nd last of the last. That seems to open a magic portal. And now we're in Doom. Or Quake, possibly. Oh, hello.
So, here you are, Nomad Soul. The one who holds the fate of Omikron in his hand.
Her hands.
Are you speaking to me, old man?
You are courting great peril, Nomad Soul. I hope you can save this universe from the hell of chaos.
You're crazy. Now leave me alone.
Accept this modest gift. 3 interlinking rings. The first 2 will save your life. The 3rd will bring you back here.
Yeah, he's not listening. By the way, that voice actor is Christian Eriksen, who was not only in Indigo Prophecy, Heavy Rain, and Outcast, just like David Gassman and Karen Strassman, but you know who else he is? Lance fucking Boyle from Mega Race, that's who.
Hi, I'm Lance Boyle, and people often wonder if I'm real.
He also voiced the evil Sunseer Thanadar in Dark Earth.
What do you mean?
So he gives us a slightly different save point, though the ambient lighting makes it difficult to make out. These rings are colored blue instead of gold, and that means they're a respawn point for a shooting section. For this one, we're using the power rod obviously, since the enemies are zombies. Like the waver gun, ammo for it is unlimited. Slightly annoying is that you can switch to the waver gun, which won't hurt them, so if you accidentally hit your weapon switching key, you're in trouble. Note, by the way, in the bottom left corner that the top tine of the power rod is only textured on one side, so it disappears while rotating. Good job, design team. So, I guess this is supposed to be the gate to our world, or rather that of the video game player. It doesn't really make sense to me, because 1, it's in this underground hellscape instead of the back alley where we entered Omikron, and 2, zombies are being ferried through it to some other place. I think there's a case of shuffling game elements around, kind of being at odds with the story actually told by the characters. I'll clean up these zombos before I deal with El Diablo. The streams of lava do hurt you, by the way, so leap over those. Oh, very clever, sir.
Welcome to my lair. I've been waiting for this moment to arrive. Got something that belongs to me and I'd like to get it back. Your soul.
Meet Commandant Gandar. Giant bosses emerging from a lava pit are at least as old as Quake 1, but he does look pretty nasty. Shooting his face will cause him to die. If you have medikits in your inventory, your character will sometimes randomly use one if you lose a lot of health. If you get too close, he has a special kill animation. Dying in these sections no longer means the magic EMT shows up to get you back on your feet. Instead, you lose the magic ring, all your progress of the fight, and restart at the respawn points. Gandar goes down rather quick. You can set the individual difficulties for the shooting and fighting sections. I think I probably have it set to easy here. In my defense, there's only tedium to be gained from playing this game at higher difficulty. Another little cache of prizes as reward for our victory, conveniently left in this little hell corridor. And hey, we just emerged in this pool in a corner of an ECBA. So, big surprise, the hooded lady on the roof was Jenna, the suspect we interrogated, who is indeed a member of the Awakened.
Congratulations, I'm impressed. To tell you the truth, I didn't think you'd succeed.
Thanks. I often have that effect.
Okay, there's no time to lose. Your adventures will draw every cop in town. The pass you found in Gandar's office will give you direct access to Jaunpur. There, a big guy named Yob will be waiting for you at the temple. He will lead you to someone who wants to talk to you. Be careful. The militia may already be on your tracks.
Our character unceremoniously dumps a few items. Stuff like Kale's police badge, I think. Speaking of Kale, if you don't lose any of the demon fights, you could of course still be inhabiting his body. So what happens if you keep running around as him? In this alternate save game, I just beat Gandar as Kale. Let's head into Jaunpur. We show the path to Jaunpur to this mecha guard. Fuck the police. Well, that was stupid. So now we're at East Malan, who is referred to as a nurse, but I think she's at least a doctor or pathologist. She comes with her own medikit, which is just a relabeled large medikit, and has completely terrible stats. Oh well, she'll get us safely into Jaunpur. Let's leave the morgue. Huh, twins.
Thank you. You are authorized to enter this building. Have a nice day.
It's such a small thing, but clearly that mecha guard's comment doesn't make sense. I'm not entering a building, I'm passing through a checkpoint. This tunnel's quite enormous, giving the game time to load Jaunpur's map. Here we enter Jaunpur, which is obviously styled like the Middle East, possibly Baghdad. Let me just catch my breath. While Jaunpur looks very different from Anekba, it's got a lot of the same stuff. Shops, bars, and there's another Dreamers concert out here. And someone dropped some change on the floor. Ismalan probably doesn't have much money, and I lost Kale's cash, so every bit helps. Jaunpur, like Anekba, seems much bigger than it is at first when you don't know the map very well yet, and you use sliders to get you to places, but it's pretty quickly traversed. Jenna told me to head to the temple. I'd normally call a slider to get me there, but you get there just as fast if you just run across. If you run for a while and stop, your character has to catch their breath, but if you do a little jump before you stop running, then that gets reset apparently. Takes out some of the tedium of running places. Anyway, here's the temple. We'll pick this up next time.